The Joe Rogan Experience.
I need to ask you about some certain shit. Like, what do you think about the Jon Jones situation? Like, with Jon Jones testing positive, but saying it was a tainted supplement. What do you think about all that?
I think I'll go back all the way back when you could do pretty much anything you wanted, right?
Right.
I brought my own bread, own food, everything to Japan. If I would go to a hall, I would bring my own water. I wouldn't drink the water they had there. I heard all the war stories and fighting in foreign countries that they might taint it or do something. Right. Make sure every product that you take as a professional athlete is your responsibility. So once that happens, and I thought that tainted supplement, wasn't that the same tainted supplement as Joel Romero had? I believe it was that same tainted room, and they have the same manager. So their manager didn't say, hey, wait a minute, Joel Romero, maybe you shouldn't take this, because I don't know 100% here. I'm just talking. Anyway, even if that's not the case, as a manager, you would say, I think from now on, you should buy only products that are on a list, and you don't do anything else anymore, just to make sure. Because people, where the smoke is fire. That's what people think. It's always like that, unfortunately. I was very happy with Joel Romero when he brought a product. I said, that's the first guy who actually does that.
Right.
They took the product, got it off the market because it was in there, and he was cleared. I said, okay, finally. I would have done that.
Tim Means did the same thing. Tim Means tested positive. And
he found it also?
They found it on the shelf.
You see?
They did an independent test of it, and they said, yep, it's in this stuff. That's a real common thing. A lot of baseball players have tested positive for the exact same thing that John tested for. Apparently, it's in a bunch of different supplements, but you get it in trace elements, or trace amounts. You're not getting like big amounts, and a lot of it comes from... They take the same vats in China, wherever they make that shit, and they'll make some steroids, and then they'll clean it out, but do a shitty job of cleaning it out, and then they'll make some creatine in there.
Yeah, it's like the gluten-free products, because sometimes they use a machine that has product with gluten in there, and then it's tainted. It's like that.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It definitely can be. I've heard a bunch of crazy stories. One of the craziest one was they think that cocaine sometimes they cut with creatine. And creatine is often infected with this steroid, that it's often tainted because you're getting cheap creatine from China, and they use creatine to cut cocaine with.
I got a good idea. Don't do cocaine if you're a fighter.
Wait a minute, that's just crazy. Boss, you're just crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Don't do cocaine.
When can he come back? When he come back? Joe.
I don't know. I don't think they've done his hearing yet.
Oh, man. What a talent. What a waste.
I They did the California hearing, but I think the Nevada State Athletic Commission and USADA, I think that's in April sometime. I think it's this month.
I really hope we're going to see him soon. I really hope he turns his life around. I truly,
he's the best.
Yeah, he's the best. I mean, the impact that he can have on kids and on everything, going out if he trains fights 4 more years, just beat everybody. And then go out.
I think he can still do it too. I think he can still come back and maybe, look, it's clear. One thing is clear from his test is that whatever he took was a tiny trace amount, and it must have been accidental. Must have been. This is according to Jeff Nowitzki, because if you look at right before that test, he tests negative. He tests positive for the tiniest amount, and then he tests negative again right afterwards.
Yeah,
so
you see.
It's a tiny
let
amount.
It go.
So it has to be an accident, and it definitely didn't have any performance-enhancing benefit. With the levels that he took, they're talking about trace amounts.
But you see, this is where comes in play what he did before, and that's why he's getting penalized now. You see, so you're always responsible for your actions. That's what's happening now.
But, I mean,
this was the first time.
His title too, which is so crazy.
I know, but if somebody has the chance to do it back, what a comeback that will be.
I think he can do it.
He can 100%.
I mean, you think about his victory over Daniel Cormier, the way he did it, that left high kick and then puts it out on the ground.
The way he set it up, the entire fight he was setting it up.
Yeah.
And I think that when he came back and before the last break, that they said, okay, now he can let it fly. Yeah. I think you set him up enough.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Making a pattern and then breaking the pattern. That's I love that style of fighting.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, he's such a talent. But isn't it funny how some of those guys that are so talented are also so self-destructive? It's so common.
It's because, but it's not only that. It's talented, and because they're talented propels them up in the limelight, and suddenly they become somebody. And it's like I said with Conor, you got all the yays, nobody says no to you.
Right.
And if you have that constantly, 24/7 around you, you start becoming, you think you're God. You can start doing things that other people can, and you can. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
I mean, that he didn't go to jail? Think about it, what he did. right?
Yeah.
Hitting the woman, and then the
Right.
drugs out of the car, and the woman was pregnant and she was injured. I mean, that's a serious thing. A normal person would have been in jail.
Right.
So, and with the money situation and how he changed suddenly with Cormier when they were, when they're filming them at the interview, and they kept it rolling, and they didn't know they were rolling. And he starts, hey, how much money you have? I got so much more money. I got this, I got this. And I go, dude, what are you doing? What is?
Right.
It's a weird thing to say. But then again, you think of it, he was the youngest champion also.
Yeah, ever.
Right? I mean, the guy is young. I mean, I was an idiot. I was an idiot when I started at 28.
Right.
I was still a grown up. I was
Right.
completely crazy. So that's why I never blame people, because I know I was a complete idiot.
Right. Well, you have a great perspective on it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been there. You know what it's like. And you were a fucking wild man, and now you're very calm, except for when you occasionally punch a table.
Yeah, 13 hours is too long for a commercial shoot. Don't do that.
I know what that's like, though. They keep on wanting you to do it again. You get angry, like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's an ego thing too, because they said it's fine, but because they said it would be, that now it's in my head. I just want to do it for them, so I don't
Right.
feel as bad as I go away. Man.
Right.
It's just pushing it. It's just saying no a little sooner. That's the trick.